only seems appropriate I do the video like this. With Craig over here, as he was dubbed, from the Xbox Games Showcase. Again, this is a little bit late, at least from when it's filming this to when the date actually is. But, like with the other ones being late, this is out a little late. But then it really gives a lot of the issues that I don't know whether the image sums it up. Sort of like disgruntled sort of acceptance. So, hang on, I'm trying to get the... No, I've got to turn my head the other way. I don't know. I can't look at myself and get the... I can't really do it. So in terms of what we got, the big issue was really anything being said. So Halo Infinite opened the show, had a fancy trailer, and then finally we had some gameplay that introduced this guy, becoming an awesome little meme. And the gameplay looked very promising. And then they announced State of Decay 3 with a CGI trailer. Then talking about Games Pass, which I honestly think is going to be the replacement for Xbox Live Gold. Because it's $10 a month, so it's around the same price, and they probably can afford to let people play the old games with the money, because it's not like revenue that they'll make from sales, more than likely. Forza Motorsport, which from what I could tell was just a CG trailer rather than actual gameplay. And then the issue started cropping up that because people realised that Xbox Series X was going to be Xbox Series X exclusive. However, they did say how they realised not everybody is going to want to jump at the chance at getting an Xbox Series X, so there'll be a whole lot of games which will be Xbox One and Xbox Series X with free upgrades for those that then eventually do take the splash. Except every single trailer for anything, I mean, well, I don't think it even said for Halo, but that's already been established that Halo is just next gen. Everything else is supposed to be capable of running on Xbox One and Xbox Series X, at least from what they previously said. And the graphics on Forza just say Windows and Xbox Series X. Nothing about Xbox One. Then Rare's new IP Everwild, again a CG trailer, again Xbox Series X and Windows PC. Don't Nod's new game, Tell Me Why, which is coming out in sort of weeks, which I think yeah, so Tell Me Why was Xbox One and Windows, but they were showing it really as part of the Xbox Series X stuff, which was confusing. Especially considering it's coming out even before the Xbox Series X exists. Um, Ori and the Will of the Wisps is getting an Xbox Series X enhanced version, I guess. Uh, Private Division, 2K's indie section, is having Outer Worlds coming to Xbox Series X, including the Outer Worlds expansion that's coming to Xbox One next month. Then they showcase Grounded, but that's coming out on Xbox One. And then they stick another CG trailer for Avowed, which is clearly trying to be their Dragon Age, Skyrim, sort of Witcher style period anyway, RPG. Then Interior Night, former Quantic Dream and other developers in an interactive drama. Hellblade 2, which was just watch the trailer elsewhere, we can't show you it. Psychonauts 2, which was okay, but they pretty much said that's coming out for Xbox One, not just Xbox Series X. Destiny 2 coming to Series X and to Game Pass with a 4K 60 frame edition apparently for the new consoles. Then all of a sudden Stalker 2, which was nice, but again CGI trailer. Fat Shark showcase a new Warhammer 40k game called Darktide with a CG trailer. Tetris Effect Enhanced, which is timed exclusive for Xbox Series X, but will come to PlayStation 5 somewhere down the line. Image and Form, the SteamWorld devs, gave us the Gunk, which did look fun, but again, only CG trailer and only on next gen stuff. Then we had Medium, the new game from Bloober. Then Sega revealing Fantasy Star Online 2.0 New Genesis, which interestingly they're saying how I'm guessing in the West it's only going to be available on Xbox Series X and maybe Xbox One, but in Japan, because pickup and adoption of Xbox consoles is low, at least in Japan from the official trailers, it's on PS4 and PS5 over there. So is that just it seemed to be, I think that from what I remember, the big logo said how it was a Series X launch exclusive. Then they said that more details will be coming later on in the year. And then the CG trailer for Fable from weirdly the devs of Forza Horizon, Playground Games. So I'm hoping they know how to do something other than racing games, because really that's all they've done. If it did one thing, I think it made a lot of people want to get and play them on Windows 10. But in terms of console, because they didn't really talk about the console, they just showed the games. We're getting to this issue. Neither of them wants to reveal the price point, because I'm guessing one wants to undercut the other. But at the same time, we're getting closer and closer to when these things are probably coming out, which is probably sometime in November. And if you're trying to save up and you want to know how much you need to save up, you sort of need to start knowing around now, by August time. there needs to be something to fill the gap. In all honesty, so I just don't know. I mean, Craig over there has got a point. What's going on? It's not really that he looks angry, does it? It's just he sort of looks miffed, which is how I'm sort of getting with these new consoles. Which I won't talk about the state of play here. I'll do it in another video. Like, wait, if you're looking at these by date, there's at least going to be a week's gap because, of course, I'm recording this days after state of play. But the fact that the state of play openly confirmed there's going to be nothing directly about PS5. There might be some games that will be announced from like third parties that are PS5 and things like that, which I think did come up from what I remember. But no concrete details, which people are getting impatient and unhappy about, which I feel, as I say, is fair. You're wanting everybody to buy this console. Give them a little more info than look at these games. Look at how nice they are. Please buy our console because you'll buy it for any price. Because we saw what happened with that with the PS3 back, nearly 15 years ago. That really went well, Oh, it's only $500 or $600. And we saw how well it worked for Xbox One at launch. And then PS4 sort of like undercutting it by a fair amount. It all works out in the end. Maybe. So I guess we'll just have to see what happens. And we'll just have to let Craig just sit there. I was trying to look that way because that's the way I need to look on the image, but I keep forgetting that it's reversed, so I need to go that way to look at him. Get lost in his eyes. Anyway, so yeah. Some of the stuff was nice to see in terms of the games and what's coming, but with the amount of CGI trailer stuff in there, we saw way more gameplay in terms of the PS5 showcase than we saw with the Xbox game showcase. It says a lot that it seems even with the games that are like coming out in the next few months, that were part of a showcase, that are coming to the one sort of in August and September, like Tell Me Why and the Outer Wilds DLC and Grounded. They look like CGI trailers more than they did gameplay, despite the fact there's clearly got to be gameplay because it's coming out either now, it's already out, or it's coming out in a number of weeks. Was that too hard to capture? I don't know. Anyway, next time we talk about Xbox, do not be afraid. Craig will be back. Craig will become the unofficial mascot on this channel of Xbox. Unless, we have to get a picture of somehow his face smiling or really badly frowning, depending how good or bad it goes. I don't know how you do that in Photoshop. I'm going to have to rely on somebody to do it and then get it off Google Images, because... Anyway, more gaming stuff. The state of play stuff. Certainly, I'll be talking about. Certain gameplay showcases and I sort of I don't want to say let's plays because it's not going to be sort of like playing through an entire game, at least that I'm aware of. But certainly showcasing off some games and things, that sort of deal. On here, we've got AJ's movie reviews and verses. Owen Sippin Snacks and stuff from the Voices of Liberty. My snack stashes, along with other content. Well, I need a drink. Awards season coverage and all that. All here. Check it out. Bing the bell. Hit the like. Click subscribe. All those things. Thank you for watching. Over to you, Craig. He's not saying anything. This complicates issues.